Hi guys, my name is Kat and welcome back to my booktube channel. It has been a minute since I've been on here. I'm sorry, I've been so busy this past month. I did want to film a what I read in October video for you guys. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give this video a like and let me know in the comments below what your favorite book of October was or if you plan on reading any of the books that I read. So the first book that I read this month was Restore Me. So with Restore Me, I'm not going to go too much in detail because I don't want to spoil the series for people who are already reading it, and it was pretty okay. That's really all I can say about it. It was pretty okay. Nothing spectacular. So the second book that I read was Finlay Donovan is Killing It, which is an amazing book. I loved this book so much. So Finlay Donovan is a author who writes murder mystery novels, and she is in a pinch, has no money, and she goes to Panera to plead with her manager to please give her an extension on writing her next book. And she has a great idea for the book, and she tells her manager about the idea for the book. And at the end of the lunch, she's passed a note from somebody, and it's somebody asking her to kill their husband for them because they overhear her talking about a murder mystery and think that she is a hitwoman. So it basically goes through her decision on if she wants to go through with this or not and the events that follow her receiving this note. I gave this 4 stars. It was a really fun book to read. It wasn't something where I was like dying to know what happened. So that kind of kept it from being a 4.5 or a 5-star read because it was written really well and it was really funny. It's probably a great like vacation book. Like I think reading it on a plane, reading it on the beach, something like that, it would be great for. And I read that from the 4th to the 5th. The third book that I read this month was Shadow Me, which is another novella from the Shadow Me series. This book is very short, so don't hold on before you judge me. It took me from the 5th to the 8th to read it because I was in New York City, so I didn't really have time. I was just reading a few pages at night. But anyways, finished that. The 4th book I read was Defy Me, which is the fifth book, 6th. Was Defy Me, which is the 5th book in the Shatter Me series. This one I gave a 4 stars. This is one of my favorite books in the series thus far. This one is really unique in that it's the first time that we learn about a lot of new characters and then a lot of our present characters' personalities, their past. It really just dives more into some of the side characters as well. So it's really interesting and it was one of my favorites thus far in the series. Oh, and I was able to pick this one up in New York City used. So I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so. And I read that from the 9th to the 12th. Following that, I read The Hen Who Dreamed She Could Fly. I know that I'm not going to be able to pronounce the author's name. I will put it on the screen. And I read this on the 12th, and I give it 5 stars. This book is only about 130 pages, and it is the cutest, sweetest book ever. So it's about a hen who is tired of laying eggs and really wants to have a baby of her own, and she ventures outside of her chicken coop, and it's basically about her journey to try and have her own little family. Okay, last Shatter Me book, I promise, was Reveal Me, and I read that from the just kidding, I read that on the 14th, and I give that 5 stars. That was a novella from Kenji's point of view, and I love Kenji. I love what Kenji has to say. I love hearing about Kenji's experiences and stuff, so honestly, 10 out of 10 on that book. Loved it. After that, I wanted to go for a spooky read, so I picked up the Ex-Hex, which I ended up giving 3.5 stars, and I read it from the 14th to the 18th. This book is super cute, super fun. It's nothing spectacular, nothing to write home about, but I would definitely recommend it for, once again, like a beach read or something to read on a trip to keep you entertained. It's very cute. Like, if you want to go to a coffee shop and read a book, this is what I would recommend for the fall season, because it's not like specifically Halloween, but definitely a fall read. It is about a witch who had her heart broken by another witch, and he has to come to the town and some things go wrong and they have to partner up and solve it together. So it's kind of an enemies to lovers story, which is one of my favorite tropes. Obviously, if you pay attention to any of the books that I've talked about, it is my favorite. So love this, and it's by Erin Sterling, and she actually also writes as Rachel Hawkins if you've read any of her like mystery thriller books. After that, I read It Starts With Us, which I have a whole video on that I'm gonna link right here for you guys if you'd like to check out my full review on that and hear all of my thoughts. But I read that on the 18th, the day it came out. And finally, the last book that I read, A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I finally finished A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and this one was a 5 stars. I read it from the 20th to the 25th. And this was probably my favorite, or no, it was definitely my favorite. This was definitely my favorite book in the series. I know that there's a lot of debate on people who like hate Nesta and people who love Nesta. I think Nesta is phenomenal, and I think that it would be really foolish of you to put off her character before you read this book and understand her story. Because yes, she is quite awful in the other books in the series, but this is where we really get to dive into why she is the way she is and how she actually feels about things. And it's a really great redemption arc for her too. It's just, I adore this book. Like, it is literally amazing. I don't always annotate my books, but I did tab a lot of stuff in this one. I'm like depressed after reading this because I'm finished with the series, at least for now. I've read all that there is ACOTAR content wise. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and like this video. Helps me out, and I love making videos on here, so let me continue doing that. Thank you guys, have a great day, and I will see you guys soon.